The government's inflation protection savings bond right now is like a Birkin bag, highly coveted. People are anxiously looking for a place to deposit their extra income as the stock market crashes and inflation rises. But what if we told you that you can do that and earn a 9.62% return on your investments? Yes, it's possible with Treasury ibonds. Hey, welcome to Stock Market Mate. Today we'll talk about how to buy this bond that promises a 9.62% return rate. Before we get into it, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to help us beat the YouTube algorithm. If you're done with that, then let's get right into it. What are ibonds? Ibonds are savings bonds that are 100% backed by the US federal government. They're designed to protect the value of your money from inflation. The I stands for inflation. The interest rate on ibonds is directly correlated with inflation. If inflation is high, the interest rate is high. If inflation is low, the rate is low. Inflation is very high right now. It hit 8.5% in March and 8.3% in April, which is well above the 1% or 2% inflation that we've been used to. The Treasury created 30-year ibonds in 1998 so that investors had a tool they could use to hedge against inflation. They're backed by the federal government, so unless the government shuts down and defaults on its debt, which politicians like to threaten every now and then, the interest rate on ibonds is almost guaranteed. In essence, think of savings bonds as like a high-yield CD. Now you may wonder, is the current inflation interest rate on ibonds 9.62%? Yes, 9.62% is the current inflation interest rate if you purchase the ibonds before November 1, 2022. The previous ibonds interest rate was 7.12% for November 2021 to May 2022. The reason that ibonds inflation interest rate is so high is because inflation has been quite high for the past months. This also means that the composite rate is also an annualized 9.62% for the first 6 months that the bond is held. This is the highest that it's been since May 2000. For an investment that's guaranteed by the federal government, that's very attractive. However, before you go on an ibonds shopping spree, wait and read the fine print. You must own the bond for at least 5 years to receive all of the interest. You can cash out an ibond after 1 year, but if you withdraw it before 5 years, you'll forfeit 3 months of interest. How does that affect your return? Let's say you buy ibonds today at a rate of 9.62%, which is valid for 6 months, and inflation drops to 6% when it resets in November 2022, which is a rate valid for another 6 months. If you cash out 12 months after buying ibonds, your net interest rate will likely be 5.86%, since you will forfeit 3 months worth of interest. The previously unheard of inflation-proof Series I savings bond, which pays 9.62%, has proved popular. The Treasury Department reports that $17.5 billion worth of them were sold in the 6 months ending in May. In contrast, ibond sales totaled $364 million in 2020. Ibonds are a good investment if you have money hanging around generating a little bit more than 1%, if not that much. Things you should know before purchasing ibonds. Number 1. You have to set up an account at treasurydirect.gov to buy the bonds. Number 2. You can buy up to $10,000 worth of ibonds annually. You can also purchase an additional $5,000 with your tax refund. This is $5,000 per tax return, not per person. If you're a single tax filer, then you can purchase $15,000 annually, $10,000 electronically, and $5,000 with your tax refund. For those with larger portfolios, the $10,000 annual limit on ibonds can make them look less appealing as an investment strategy. However, there are some additional ways that you can purchase more ibonds. If you have a business, then the business can purchase an additional $10,000 in ibonds per year. If you have a trust, then you can purchase an additional $10,000 for the trust account. You can also buy an unlimited number of ibonds as gifts. You can purchase 10K or 20K of ibonds for your spouse as a gift, and your spouse can do the same for you. Keep in mind though that once the ibonds are given as a gift, it will count towards the annual limit of the recipient. So if your spouse already bought $10,000 this year, he or she can't receive your gifted ibonds this year. It'll have to wait until the year when your partner is not buying ibonds. The main risk of this loophole is that if you buy too much, the ibonds rate will have fallen in 2024 or beyond, and you'll be stuck at a lower rate. Number 3. There is a lack of flexibility. Because you'll be locked in for 1 year, you cannot withdraw for the next 12 months, and even if you do withdraw after 12 months, but before 5 years, you'll forfeit 3 months worth of interest. Number 4. You can cash ibonds once you have owned them for a minimum of 1 year. However, if you cash them in before 5 years, then you will lose 3 months of interest. ibonds earn interest for 30 years unless you cash them out before then. Number 5. ibonds are subject to federal income taxes, but they're exempt from state and local income taxes. This makes them even more attractive to those who live in high-tax states and cities. They can sometimes be fully tax-exempt if they're used to pay for qualified higher education. You can choose to pay taxes and the interest earned when the ibonds are cashed. If you cash out any ibonds in a specific year, then Treasury Direct will generate a 1099 tax form for the accumulated interest. The owner is responsible to pay for the taxes. This means that if you were gifted an ibond, then you are required to pay the tax owed. Step-by-step guide to purchasing ibonds. Number 1. Extend your patience. Seriously. According to the website, creating an account takes 10 minutes. Maybe if everything goes well for certain folks, for some it doesn't. The procedure for fixing problems or mistakes is tedious and archaic. Last month, so many people rushed to Treasury Direct to purchase the government savings bond that the website crashed. Number 2. Go to treasurydirect.gov. Under Account Login, click the link to open an account. If you're not sure about how to navigate the process, take the guided tour. We also recommend you watch the video on how to set up an account. Lots of readers have said they've had issues with setting up their accounts, and now they're having trouble reaching a live person to help them figure out what went wrong. Number 3. Get a taxpayer identification number, such as your social security number. You also have to have an address in the United States. You need an email address. You're required to provide at least one telephone number. Number 4. There's a section to add your bank information, which will be the account you will use to buy the bonds. It has to be a checking or savings account. Triple check this part before you hit submit. Get this wrong and you're transported back a few decades to a system that can't handle an online change. We'll talk more about this later. Number 5. Go through several additional steps to set up your account, including creating a password, choosing a personalized image, and selecting home security questions. Be sure to choose a strong password and security questions that can't be obtained from searching your social media accounts. If you post a lot about your fish Goldie or your beloved dog Champ, don't pick that as an answer to a security question. What was your first pet's name? Number 6. Once you have established your account, you'll receive an email with your Treasury Direct account number. When you log into your account for the first time, you'll get a one-time passcode sent to your email. Make sure the image you selected appears. Eventually, you'll enter the password you selected. Number 7. Triple check all your information. If you successfully set up an account, you can electronically buy bonds by transferring money from a checking or savings account. Remember that you can't correct the account information online. You have to print out a bank change form to edit an existing bank in your Treasury Direct account, so you have to be extra careful. The current inflation interest rate of 9.62% makes ibonds very attractive for savvy investors. Note that the actual rate you likely get will be less than that since you'll likely forfeit 3 months worth of interest. If you want a guaranteed investment that will protect your cash from inflation, then you can consider ibonds. However, they're not right for every investment portfolio. Always remember to do your own research. And that's about it for today's video. If you found this video helpful, kindly click the like and subscribe button. Also, you might want to leave a comment below. We love hearing from you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to want to watch one of these 2 videos right here. Enjoy!